What if the ordinary 2009 Sacagawea dollar sitting in a drawer right now could be worth $19,000? It sounds unbelievable, but a handful of rare examples with the right errors, condition, and collector demand have stunned the coin market. Before you spend that golden dollar, you may want to look much closer. In 2009, most Americans barely paid attention to dollar coins anymore. They circulated only lightly, often disappearing into jars, drawers, and forgotten collections. But something important happened that year. The Sacagawea dollar entered a new chapter. Instead of using the same reverse design that collectors had seen for years, the United States Mint launched the Native American Dollar Program, introducing annually changing reverse designs. The 2009 issue became the first coin in that new series. On the reverse, collectors found a powerful image representing Native American agricultural contributions. It wasn't just another dollar coin. It marked the beginning of a completely different collecting journey. At first, few people cared. Years later, however, collectors started digging through rolls and mint sets, discovering that some 2009 Sacagawea dollars carried unusual errors and exceptionally preserved surfaces. That's when values began climbing, and some examples climbed much higher than anyone expected. Before we get into the valuable errors, it helps to understand how these coins were produced. The coin isn't solid gold. Despite its golden appearance, it uses a manganese brass outer layer over a copper core, giving it that distinctive color. The process begins with blank planchets. Those blanks pass through powerful presses where dies strike the design into the metal under immense pressure. Millions of coins are produced this way. Most emerge nearly identical, but occasionally something goes wrong, a damaged die. A misaligned strike or debris entering the press can create unusual varieties that collectors eagerly seek, and those mistakes can transform a $1 coin into something worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Let's start with one of the most overlooked varieties, a die crack. Forms when the metal die used to strike coins begins developing fractures. After repeated use, when that cracked die strikes a coin, raised lines appear on the finished piece. Many people mistake them for scratches. They're not. The line is actually raised above the surface because the crack existed inside the die itself. Small die cracks may sell for only 20 to 100. More dramatic examples stretching across major design elements often reach $150 to $500, and particularly impressive specimens with multiple visible cracks have sold for even more when paired with high grades. The challenge? Most collectors overlook them entirely. Now things get more interesting. An off-center strike occurs when the planchet isn't perfectly positioned during striking. Part of the design ends up missing, while another section shows a blank crescent-shaped area. The amount of offset matters enormously. A slight 5% shift might bring $50 to $150, a dramatic 20% to 40% off-center strike can command $300 to $2,500 depending on visibility and condition. Collectors especially love examples where the date remains visible. Why? Because the date confirms exactly which coin produced the error. The more dramatic the displacement, the stronger the collector demand tends to be. This is where many treasure hunters focus their attention. A doubled die occurs during die manufacturing, creating doubled design elements on the struck coins. The doubling may appear in lettering, numbers, or fine details. The key is genuine doubling, not machine. Doubling, true doubled, dies show distinct separation between design elements. Minor examples may sell for $100 to $300. More noticeable varieties often reach $500 to $2,000. If a major doubled die were discovered in exceptional condition, values could climb substantially higher. This is one of the first areas experts examine when searching through 2009 dollars. Imagine a small piece of grease, cloth fiber, or debris landing on a coin blank during striking. When the dies come down, that foreign material prevents part of the design from fully forming. The result is known as a struck-through error. These errors create unusual missing details that weren't supposed to exist. Small struck through Errors often bring $30 to $100 larger, and more dramatic examples can sell for $200 to $800. Unique struck-through pieces with obvious visual appeal sometimes exceed those estimates because collectors love unusual-looking coins. No, two are exactly alike. That's part of the attraction. Sometimes a piece of the die actually breaks away. When that happens, metal flows into the missing area during striking. The result can be a raised blob, known as a die chip. Larger breaks near the rim create what's called a cud. Error, small die chips typically bring $25 to $100. Significant cuds often range from $200 to $1,000. The larger and more dramatic the break, the more collector attention it receives. Some examples become instantly recognizable because of their unusual appearance. Here's where many collectors make a huge mistake. They focus only on the error. Professional. Buyers focus on both the error and the condition. A common error on a heavily circulated coin may sell for only a modest premium. The exact same error in near-perfect condition can multiply in value several times over. That's why grading matters. Coins certified by major grading services and receiving grades such as MS66, MS67, or higher often attract much stronger bids. A coin worth $100 in average condition might bring $500 or more in elite preservation. Condition isn't just important, it's often the difference between an ordinary collectible and a headline-worthy sale. Here's the reality. Most 2009 Sacagawea dollars are worth face value or only a small premium. But the rare combination of factors can create extraordinary value. Imagine a coin with a dramatic mint error, exceptional eye appeal, virtually flawless surfaces, professional certification, strong collector demand. That's how values can enter the thousands. And in extremely rare cases, specialized collectors have paid astonishing amounts for top population examples and spectacular mint errors. Those are the coins that generate stories throughout the hobby. Those are the coins that make people search through forgotten collections. And those are the coins that remind everyone why coin collecting remains so exciting. So the next time a 2009 Sacagawea dollar crosses your path, don't dismiss it as just another golden dollar. Look for unusual lines. Check for missing details. Examine the lettering. Study the strike. Because hidden among millions of ordinary coins could be a rare error worth hundreds, thousands, or potentially far more than anyone expects. And somewhere right now, a valuable 2009 Sacagawea dollar is probably sitting unnoticed, waiting for someone curious enough to take a second look.